like there's shots that are very similar, shots taken from this film. Story elements are taken from this film, but it's not exactly the film. So I'll get into more spoiler stuff later. One of my favorite directors is now, oh, I guess he's always been a controversial figure in the world of film since day one, and that is Mr. Quentin Tarantino. Now here is his first released film, Reservoir Dogs, and this beautiful 4K film. And I have a love-hate relationship with this film. Sometimes I watch it, it's one of my favorite Tarantino films. Sometimes I watch it and it's one of my least favorite Tarantino films. That doesn't mean I say it's bad. It's like, sometimes I think it's like a 8-9, and then sometimes I think it's a 6-7. Right? I never think it's a bad film. Never think it's a bad film. But sometimes I just love it sometimes more. And this last time was a pretty good viewing, I think. Pretty good viewing. But this is not just a film review about Reservoir Dogs. I am also going to review a film that is highly, highly referenced or copied in Reservoir Dogs, and that is the 1987 Hong Kong classic, City on Fire. Now, this is not a video saying one is better than the other. How do these two, well, first of all, hold up separately, and what are the things Tarantino took from City on Fire to make Reservoir Dogs? So before I do that, let's talk about each of the individual films. I'll start with City on Fire. Now, City on Fire is directed by Ringo Lam. And first of all, look at this. Look at the Hong Kong classic. I freaking love the Hong Kong classic. Shout Factory, doing the Lord's work. I waited my whole life to see this film. I've seen this film for like, I don't know, almost 15 years, whatever, I don't know. But yeah, I knew about this film, but I never watched. I think I've maybe seen it once, like 3 years ago, but not, legally. So when this got announced, I jumped on it. It is number 6 in their whole line. And I'll tell you, the first time I watched this film, I did not give it the benefit of the doubt, because it's before I rewatched all the John Woo films that Shout Factory released. So when I watched this, I was really thinking it as a lesser John Woo. And that was not fair. That is not fair. Ringo Lam is a totally different director. Now, are there similars to a John Woo film? Absolutely, right? The bloody action, the bloody heroic action, the romantic action. Yeah, they share a DNA, and you know what? It is not as good as John Woo, right? But the story is well less melodramatic than, say, a John Woo film, right? When John Woo does a undercover cop story, it is hard-boiled. And that film is super melodramatic, like all his other films, right? This film, has some melodramatic moments to it. It's the Hong Kong film way, but it's not a melodrama. There's melodramatic stuff in it, right? I'm not gonna deny that, but like it's not thick, right? The music and the lighting, it's not thick melodrama. It's really just a regular drama. It's a cop drama. And yeah, I was not fair with the film. I was not fair the first time. The second time I watched it, which is what I'm doing now, I absolutely adored this film. This stars John Woo, collaborator, Chow Yun-fat. I always forget his name. These names are difficult at times. Chow Yun-fat, Hard Borrow, A Better Tomorrow, beautiful actor, and he plays a a cop, and he plays this undercover cop, which is not really stated too well. Like it is, but it isn't. And he's working for his uncle, who's a high up detective inspector, and he wants his nephew right here to infiltrate this, sell guns to this syndicate, and then infiltrate the syndicate and stop the syndicate from robbing diamonds. You know, haven't heard that one before. Chow Yun-fat is so freaking good in this film, right? He has that macho bravado that you'll see in A Better Tomorrow or The Killer, but he gives this very humanist performance, and I would say because the character is insanely human. He's insanely likable. He has a heart. He doesn't want to do the job he's doing. He likes the criminals. He likes them. They're his friends. They're just guys with jobs, and their jobs are illegal, right? They're bank robbers, jewel robbers, right? They're just guys, blue collar guys. And he kind of wants to get out of the whole business. He wants to marry his girlfriend, who is constantly being, who's constantly saying, "Oh, I'm gonna go out with this other guy who's married, but he's gonna divorce his wife." But yeah, Chow Yun-fat plays such a human character, and his buddy here, again, I can't remember his name, Danny Lee, right, who is also in The Killer. Chow Yun-fat gets a connection with Danny Lee here, who is like kind of like he's not the leader, but he's pretty much the leader of the syndicate, and they form like this brotherhood. They talk about each other's lives, they talk about their dreams, they talk about what they should be doing right now. Ko asks for relationship advice. Very, like I said, humanist drama stuff that just happens to have this shell of a crime action film. As it goes, Ringo Lam does like these amazing, beautiful shots, and it's in Hong Kong, beautiful city, awesome film. This is possibly one of my favorite Hong Kong films now, and if you haven't seen it, you should absolutely check it out. I'll get into more spoil stuff after I talk about Reservoir Dogs, because again, I don't think this and Reservoir Dogs are one for one, but there are a lot in common, obviously, but especially the endings. But the endings kind of mean something different, like because like the film itself is going through a different thing, right? Like there's shots that are very similar, the shots taken from this film, story elements are taken from this film, but it's not exactly the film. So I'll get into more spoiler stuff later. But yeah, if you're just watching for my City of Fire review, fantastic film. The opening's amazing. Has noir lighting the whole time, neo-noir stuff all the time. It has great romance, has comedy. Almost a perfect movie. Almost a perfect movie. Not a perfect movie, but almost a perfect movie. But check out City on Fire. Reservoir Dogs. What can I say that hasn't been already said about Reservoir Dogs? I like this film. It's definitely not one of my favorite Tarantino's, because everything he does in this film, he'll do way better in the future. In the next film, in Pulp Fiction, he'll do way better than this film. So I kind of feel kind of disingenuous if I say it's like my favorite. Now it does kind of have that punk rock feeling to it, even though it has $1 million budget and you got Hollywood actors in it. It kind of does feel like that grunge, hip hop kind of feeling. So yeah, I do like this film quite a bit. I don't love it though. I don't love it. I do find some of the dialogue, I know this might be blasphemous, kind of chunky. And it's specifically almost that first scene in the diner. Don't get me wrong, the stuff that people are saying are fantastic, but some of like it's just sometimes it's a little chunky. It's the first time I noticed it. It's a little chunky. Like it doesn't match well. They're just, it's just it doesn't match. It doesn't match. Again, he gets better at this later on. But what this film has in spades is the cast. It's the cast. Harvey Keitel, Mr. White, beautiful. Steve Buscemi, Mr. Brown, beautiful. Rest in peace, Michael Madsen, Mr. Blonde, beautiful. Simply beautiful. Sean Penn's brother, I can't remember his name at the top of my head. Rest in peace as well. Awesome. And Tim Roth, Mr. Orange, awesome. The cast is bananas. And that's probably the number one reason why this film works, is because of that cast. If Tarantino did what he did, what he wanted to do, which was like take his $30,000 he made from True Romance, which I will review True Romance in the future, and made this film in like a muffler shop, and he plays the Mr. White character, it might have been a good film, but it wouldn't have been Reservoir Dogs. The cast saves this film. The cast elevates this film. And that's no slack. I think every film is saved by its cast. Last year Sean Baker's speech at the Oscars for Best Original Screenplay, he's like, thank you to my actors for making my words sound good. And that's really it. As somebody who is a screenwriter, an actor can really change your dialogue. Like if I write something and I don't think it's that great, but I give it to a decent actor, I'm like, wow, that's not bad. They elevate the materials. Actors elevate films. Like I've seen people say things like in the past, like take away the cast, you don't have as good as a movie. Yeah, no duh. No duh. Yeah, take away the cast, the movie's not as good. Like, yeah, take away that one element in the film, it's not as good. Obviously, the cast saved this film. It's just the film is so talky. And when I'm watching these films, again, I'm a filmmaker myself, and I'm watching these films that are $1 million plus, and they're just so talky. And I'm, like, I don't know. I just have just bad feelings, right? I don't know. Like, maybe I'm a little jaded, maybe I'm a little jealous, right? But it's such a talky film. And the best part of the film is the Mr. Blonde torture scene where you put on Stuck in the Middle with You, and he's doing the little dance and he's singing, cuts the ear off, like pure cinema, Kino cinema. It's amazing, and the dialogue is just reeled down. And then he goes outside and you hear the music disappear, and you're on a steady cam, and he goes, gets the gas can out of the trunk, comes back in, the music is back on. He's walking to the music. Like and then it's finished with Mr. Orange. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. That scene is probably one of top 5 favorite Tarantino scenes of all time. Thanks to you, Michael Madsen. Rest in peace, legend. But yeah, I love this film. I know I just said I liked it. I do love this film. I will absolutely rewatch it one day. I just don't love it like Pulp Fiction, Jackie Brown, Kill Bills, maybe even Death Proof. I've only seen Death Proof once. Inglourious Bastards. Django, Hateful Eight, which I know I said this is a talkie film, and that's an absolute talkie film, but it's better talkie. Hateful Eight is a much better talkie, much better dialogue, not like what I'm just saying. It has better dialogue than this film. That's it. It has better dialogue. It's not his direction. True Romance has better dialogue than this film. Right? This is not his best film. And I kind of do hate when people are like, and I probably am in the same camp as this. It's like, oh, an artist's first thing is their best thing. Like if you're a Nas fan, like Illmatic, oh, that's his best thing. Nothing's ever better than Illmatic. And if I was Nas, I will feel kind of dishearted because I'm like, man, I've been working for 30 years and my first thing is your favorite thing. So yeah, I've seen people say this is it is their favorite thing. And it's kind of pure Tarantino, right? So like it's not a lot of feet stuff, so maybe it's not pure Tarantino, but like it is him. And I do find it kind of beautiful that Tarantino's first thing in cinema has, it's a black screen with the studios on it, and it's his voice. It's his voice talking about a Madonna song, about pulp culture. And I don't know too many filmmakers that have something so perfect to them than that. Like I really don't. That really, like that right there. I don't care if people think it's self-indulgent. I don't think like it's stupid. It maybe is. But it's true to him. And there's really not a lot of filmmakers you can say did anything like that. So I absolutely do like this film. Absolutely love this film. But now let's talk about what is interesting to me about these two films, right? So these two films, Tarantino himself say he took the last 20 minutes of this film and made it a whole film. Now that's kind of true because the last 20 minutes of this is the heist on the jewel heist, and it goes bad, and the cops are there, and they go to the hideout, and there's a Mexican standoff, and the guy who's the undercover cop is bleeding to death, and the one guy who he befriends is like, no, there's a good guy. The boss is like, no, he's not. We're all going to shoot each other. In the arms of the friend, they're like, hey, by the way, I'm a cop. Okay. Yeah, that's the last 20 minutes of this. But what I find really fascinating, again, is the stuff that's different. This is a personal film. The characters, as much as like Chow Yun-fat is lying, his interaction with the criminals are genuine. He doesn't want to lie to them. He doesn't want to cheat them. So he's human with them. He tells them about his life. He asks them advice. They know where each other's from. It's a personal film. Because crime, at the end of the day, is personal. Business is personal. And you have to know the person who you're working with. Can you work with a man or a woman that you don't trust? Well, that's what this film is. The whole color brigade here don't know anything about each other. They're colors. They're rainbow. They're Roy G. Biv. And once you learn about somebody, Mr. Orange learns about Mr. White, it's a plot. It's like you messed up now. Like the rest of the movie happens because Mr. Orange knows who Mr. White could be. Right? They could just leave him. They could just leave Mr. Orange to die. But they can't, because if he's caught, he knows how to find Mr. White. If you know how to find Mr. White, you can find Mr. Brown. If you find Mr. Brown, you can find Mr. Blue. You can find Mr. Blue, you can find Mr. Blunt. You see? So now, this story where you have Mr. White is in trouble because of personal. Because he gave too little bit of information to Mr. Orange. That would not happen here, right? Because they already know all about each other, right? There's not even a question about it. Like, these guys are so strict in this film about going to the police or dropping out that, like, the last week before the crime, they're all sleeping together in, like, bunk beds, and they're not leaving a house or an apartment on Christmas. This is a Christmas film. No, it's not, but it does take place during Christmas. This is not personal. These guys are talking about pop culture. These guys don't have relationships. There's no relationships in this. These guys don't have girlfriends. Right? They have the job. They have a job. These guys, this guy, the uncle, has a dead son. This guy, the nephew, could be, I don't know if it's his father. I don't think they're specific. But this guy's got a girlfriend, had a wife that he wants to marry. This guy has kids and a wife that got remarried. These people have hopes and dreams. These people don't. They have no hopes. They have no dreams. Just the job. And I'm not saying one is better than the other. What I'm saying is it is different. That right there is a distinct difference. Even if you want to say this is a remake of this, you could say that. I'm not mad about it, but there's major differences. You can't say you've seen Reservoir Dogs if you've seen City on Fire, and vice versa. Like I said, I grew up watching this, and this was a new experience when I watched. The interesting part, and I do suggest you all watch these films together, is the differences. When you don't really know if Mr. White, Harvey Keitel, is really caring for Tim Roth because he cares for this guy, right? He genuinely cares for the guy, or he just doesn't want this guy to rat out on him. You genuinely do not know, and that's up to you. But when Ko and Danny Lee are holding each other at the end, and Ko says, "I'm a cop," you can see Danny Lee's face, like the blood drain out of his face. Like, he had a genuine brother connection to Ko. He had a blood brother. We are going to die for the rest of our lives. I just known you for 5 minutes, but we are the best friends ever. And that comes crashing down as soon as he says, Ko's a cop. This is the same thing, but like, it's more like this anger, like, oh my, I waste my time. I waste my time, and he's yelling and screaming. A lot more doubt in it, to be honest with you. Which is okay. I'm not saying that's better. I'm not saying it's worse. Oh, I do think this City on Fire is a better made film. I don't think that's even a debate. City on Fire, Ringo Lam, at this time, was a way better director than Tarantino. But that's not really fair, right? That's not really fair. This is a guy who was top of the line in Hong Kong. Like, what? He's John Woo, then Ringo Lam, or Tess Hark. Like, those are like the three biggest guys in Hong Kong in the 80s, right? I could be wrong. Very interesting stuff, though, my dear viewers. Very interesting stuff. This was a great experiment. I love both of these films. Again, I could go on forever about Reservoir Dogs, the references to taking a Pelham 1, 2, 3. I love kind of his manifesto that he has in it about being cool, and that kind of percolates in his other films. True Romance has that whole element of being cool. That's one of the songs. The Hans Zimmer song is "You're So Cool," and that's what Patricia Arquette says to I can't remember his name right now. The guy, her boyfriend, the main character. I'm sorry, you're great. I love Christian Slater. He's like, "Oh, you're so cool." Pulp Fiction, when Jules and Vincent are about to go, get into character, right? Like, get in character. Mr. Orange gets in character. You know, they got to play it cool. So being cool is very important to Tarantino, and it all starts here. Also, talk a little more. I always found it funny when they talked about the cops. They say they're not real people. Oh, he's a real person. He's a criminal. Oh, he's a cop. He's not real. He's a pig, right? So kind of showing you, okay, good guys are the bad guys and the good guys are the bad guys. Or unless you think the other way, you know, that's your priority. But yeah, definitely a good film. Not a masterpiece. Very immature still at times. He levels up so much with Pulp Fiction, and with City on Fire, I want to watch more Ringo Lamb. I want to pick up that City on Fire. No, School on Fire. This is City on Fire. And there's Prison on Fire. I want to pick up Prison on Fire. And yeah, guys, that's the video. If you don't know already, I'm Jack from Manelli Studio Entertainment. I don't know how good this lighting is because I'm usually a natural light guy and my lighting is in my car. So I'm using my lamp here and I know I'm a little blown out, but it's nighttime and I really want to make this video. So yeah, I'm Jack, Manelli Studio Entertainment. I do a lot of film stuff, a lot of physical media stuff like this, pickups, reviews. I talk about Radians, Criterions, Hong Kong classics. I love physical media. Arrow video, I just love it, guys. And I love anime. I talk about comic books. I talk about a wide range of pop culture and geek stuff. Right? So yeah, guys, thank you so much. Comment down below what you like better. Do you like City on Fire or Reservoir Dogs? Which one do you prefer? Let me know down below. And with that being said, I'm Jack from Manelli Studios Entertainment saying, watch more movies.